Before mandatory face coverings were announced by Victorian Premier Dandrews on the 19th of July, I was spending my isolation crafting couture and planning my spring collection. But with that Sunday announcement, it was suddenly obvious how many people would not be able to acquire a mask before the restrictions only 3 days later. And without a mask, they wouldn't even be able to go outside to get one. So before the announcement was even finished, I pulled out all the fabric I owned, a prodigious hoard of every possible thread, including some remnants I've held onto for upwards of 10 years, all in case I found a use for it. And this finally seemed like the perfect use, and a justification for all of my squirreling. Hi everyone, my name is Maddi, and I'm a queer seamstress living in Naarm, and I've spent the last 2 weeks making and giving away over 300 reusable fabric masks. This fabric was divided into 3 sections across my kitchen. Soft, breathable, water-absorbent cotton that would trap moisture acted as the lining of the mask. Tightly woven and water-resistant synthetic blends that would provide the outer layer and protect the wearer from corona droplets. An interfacing or interlock knit would provide additional filtration and a barrier between the inner and outer layers. In that afternoon, I changed all my social media to Maddi Makes Masks, created a new email, and linked it to a simple website with details of masks, photos, and a direct line to put in requests. We set up a production line of cutting, sewing, and threading elastic onto the masks that would then be bound in care instructions, each named and placed in a contactless collection box. All of this was done without any expectation of payment, and Facebook posts were made to our local community offering masks to anyone who needed. There were mountains of requests, from co-ops to elders, to a lesbian couple going in labour, and I hoped that my non-threatening demeanour and unbeatable value would ensure even the most stubborn bloke in Footscray would be wearing a mask come midnight Wednesday. Of course, some people insisted on compensation, which resulted in a lovely assortment of flowers, veggie garden harvests, sweets, and of course, even more fabric for me to hoard. Stay safe out there and wear a mask.